Well, it's time to celebrate more than 20 years of America's biggest rock holiday tradition with the Ghosts of Christmas Eve.
Enjoy the best of the Trans-Siberian Orchestra at the Mid-America Center next week.
Yep, we're getting a special sneak peek today from TSO Al Pitrelli, our good friend. Good to see you, Al.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me again.
Every year we look forward to it.
Every year. It's good to see you. I know you had a little bit of a rough off season. Founder Paul is no longer with us.
Yes, sir.
But you guys are still forging ahead.
Well, yeah, we never had a choice in the matter. I mean, that was something that, Paul and I, his family, our managers, we talked about, 15 years ago, how we've been fortunate and blessed enough to have stumbled upon this. And it came to life, and we always said, well, at least we know that this will live long past all of us.
Yeah.
And not too different than Walt Disney, the visionary, the man who created all of it. Yeah. And, as the family took over and Disney grew into what Disney's become, so will TSO, So a tragedy and a loss, but we're going to make a lot of great music, and we're going to blow that building up next Thursday.
I know, you do. Well, you do every year. I'm surprised it's still standing all these years later.
Yeah, they fixed all the
cracks.
All the cracks. We're in okay shape.
There are people who, we posted on our Facebook page today and asked people that, what their holiday concert was, knowing that you were coming today. And somebody said, I'll be in the second row. We've been there every year for 18 years. So you'll have people that have been there almost every year, but you might have some people that are new to the experience. Explain what one of your shows is like.
Ooh. Well, for the folks who come back every year, we consider them our repeat offenders. They know that every year that the show gets bigger and better and crazier. Technology just gets so crazy that we can fit more pyro, more moving trusses, more lasers. I mean, you're basically talking about the biggest rock and roll show on the planet. It's just so over the top, and it's grown up over the last 22 years. In its infancy, we had, a fog machine and a couple lights, and now I think I counted 18 or 19 tractor trailers in the parking lot at the Mid-America Center this week.
Wow. So you got, it's even bigger than last year?
Yes, it is. Well, every year it's gotten bigger, and I know that every year we talk about this.
Yeah,
We go, how could you get bigger? Well, we have the greatest crew on the planet. Our department heads, what they're able to do, it boggles the mind. And at the centerpiece of all this crazy production is this beautifully written Frank Capra-esque tale, The Ghost of Christmas Eve.
There's a story.
There's a story, and the obvious is how big the show has gotten. What I didn't realize a bunch of years ago when Paul O'Neill wrote this story, and we kind of started playing it live, is that basically it's about a young teenage runaway. She wants to go home. She doesn't remember what the fight was about. Her parents don't remember. She just wants to go home. What I noticed is that everybody in the audience inserts their situation to Paul's words, because everybody around the holidays misses somebody, and it became just universal throughout the audience. Everybody on the stage, everybody in the audience, and everybody globally, who listens to TSO music now can just insert their daughter, their father, their whatever it is. So it resonated with everybody, and it's become more personal. That's why we have these people coming back year after year, and they run out and they tell their grandparents, they tell their coworkers, they tell everybody, listen, you got to come see this show.
What is it about TSO and how you guys became so popular around the holiday season? Were you creating music for the holidays, or was it a project that was for all year-round music listening, and then it kind of morphed into this holiday tradition?
I think a little bit of both. When Paul and John Oliver and myself, we first took a look at the song Christmas Eve Sarajevo. It wasn't really a Christmas song. It was a soundtrack underneath a story that was based around the war in Bosnia. I had spent some time over in Yugoslavia with Alice Cooper, and I remember walking through the town in, I think, 1989, 1990. Fast forward a couple of years, Paul had this idea of the soundtrack being a cellist playing in the town square that I was in protest to the bombing raids that were occurring during the war. That's where we recorded the themes of Carol of the Bells and God Rest Your Merry Gentlemen, and obviously a little bit more aggressive guitar production.
No, yeah, sure.
You got to make it a little heavy, And that's kind of what it was. And when radio latched onto it in the winter of '95, it lit up. I mean, every radio format, country.
I remember.
I mean, every format you could imagine. It kind of like ran wild. And then all of a sudden we said, okay, we're on to something here, because nobody in America had heard anything like that. I mean, I think we came right after White Christmas, and then they played us.
Right.
There's a little bit of a difference.
A little transition.
Everybody's like grabbing their stereos and turning it up just a little bit more.
I certainly do.
And we knew we were on to something, and Paul wrote the story, Christmas Eve and other stories around that. And we thought, well, okay, well, we got lucky last year with that song, but you know, how's this going to work? And you know, it's since 1996 until where we are right now, it's just grown every year, bigger and bigger and bigger.
And it's become special in this community as well.
Oh,
You always started, you launch it here. You know,
yeah, for 10 years we've been living here.
Yeah.
You know, we move in, I guess, mid-October, and we'll leave right after the show next Thursday night. But I mean, your community has embraced us. We've made such great friends here. You know, we walk into the hotel, there's no eye rolling. They're back. Yeah. We just love it here. You guys have been awesome, and it's just become a great relationship. Like everything else that Paul created, the relationships are really what's at the center of this whole thing.
Yeah. Well, our viewers out there, they've got a week to get tickets, and there are still tickets available for next Thursday night shows. The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, Thursday, November 16th at the Mid-America Center. Trans-Siberian.com is a website that you can go to. And, you know, it's always great having you. You've become kind of a friend of the show here over the last 7-8 years.
I appreciate it very much.
It just feels like the start of the holiday season when you're here. So we're thrilled to have you back.
Well, I appreciate it very much, and thank you for having me back. And you know, we'll do this another 10 years.
We will.
We'll see you next year.
Yes, ma'am.
And Thursday as well.
And Thursday.
Yeah. Good to see you, Al.
Thanks so much.
All right.